I'm really excited to talk to Dipalee Jukes today. Dipalee, tell us more about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, well, I'm firstly a first generation British Indian. So my parents are immigrants to this country. I grew up in Southwest London, so not very exotic, but it was an immigrant household nonetheless. So it was very multicultural. And at school, I really enjoyed geography. It was sort of always a passion of mine from about 12, 13, I seem to remember. And I had a really good geography teacher at school. And yeah, so it kind of took off from there. My love of sort of learning everything about the planet and the Earth, and that naturally led me to do geology at university, and then I sort of fell into geotechnical engineering because I didn't really know what career I was going to do when I left uni at age 22. And a friend of mine was doing geotechnical engineering, and I just went along and thought I'd give it a go. And here I am today, co-founding an engineering company of 14 years now. So yeah, it's been an interesting roller coaster, but it all started with a love of geography back in when I was a teenager.
I,
And
I love that, Dipalee. Tell us a little bit more about your company, Ground and Water. You're the co-founder. What do you do on a daily basis?
um, these days, I spend my time a lot of mentoring and coaching my senior leadership team. Um, so making sure that we've got the next set of leaders coming up through. I also do quite a lot of sort of networking events and going out to see clients, and other events, and just sort of being the face of ground and water in the industry. And I also like to do a bit of just bring, the brand awareness for our company, but also for women and girls in STEM, and trying to promote more women to come into STEM. So I do a bit of work around that for schools and other charities, and other initiatives that I've taken on, that will hopefully inspire more women into the industry. So I sort of split my time between doing all of those things, and then when I have a bit of spare time, a bit of marketing and sales as well. So yeah, but mainly getting out there and spending time with people, and with women especially, to try and inspire them to come into the industry.
Dipalee, you obviously work in an industry that's predominantly male, right?
Yeah.
What motivates you most, do you think, being in that industry with all the different roles you hold? You're the governor of a school, you
Mm.
obviously run this company, you are very involved in empowering women and girls in STEM. What is sort of your main motivator?
I think it's quite personal because I've been in the industry over 21 years, and I think it's only the last couple that I've seen people that look like me. So I've always been an outsider looking in. Even now I can walk into a room and there'll be 50 white males and just me. And I think that really motivates me, that things need to change, the systems need to change, because I don't want that to continue for the next generation. Um, and also, I'm a mother of three, and my youngest is a girl, and I want to make sure that she doesn't have to face the same challenges that I did. So that's sort of where the governor side of it, and making sure that children have a really solid foundation in education, and that we're actually going into schools and talking to children at a really young age to change those gender stereotypes. So there is very much a gender stereotype that an engineer should be a white male, and perceptions are changing, but there's still a long way to go. So I think that's mainly what motivates me, that I don't want the same struggles for the next generation of women and girls.
Dipali, I really am very grateful for this level of service that you have, because I think it's so important. And we all know that the more diverse we are, the better we function. So I sometimes think I'm not
Mm.
quite sure why it keeps on perpetuating a system that, in fact, is less efficient. What do you think is, I mean, is there anything in your opinion that really, what really changes those stereotypes or that status quo with your work with girls in STEM? What do you think is the thing that really makes a difference?
I think it's you can't be what you can't see, and so representation matters. It really does. And I've gone out and spoken to young girls, and they feel inspired by the fact that I am the owner of an engineering company, and I've had some of the women in my company saying, "Well, I applied because I saw you, and because I can see that there is a career pathway for women." And so I feel it's my duty to pay it forward to make sure that the women are represented across all different industries. And I think young girls at schools, if they don't have those role models, they've got nothing to aspire to in that particular career. And so yeah, I think there's like I said, a lot of work to be done, but I think times are changing, and there's a lot of passionate women out there who are ready to step up. So I'm just I think it's the right opportunity at the right time for me.
Definitely, Dipalee, and this is why
Yeah.
we're so thankful that you're on here with us as well. Dipalee, what do you think is your biggest quality?
Oh, my superpower. Well, I have 3 kids and a husband to manage. I think I'm very good at organizing and planning. And I have been told, I think, because I have to plan everything out, that I make sure that I follow through on everything I've committed to do and signed up to. So I think my strength is I will show up, and I will always prepare and make sure I'm ready to do the job, because I feel you shouldn't do it unless you are ready to do it properly. So yeah, planning and organizing and execution of tasks. I think that's probably how I've got to 14 years leading the company.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Dipalee, what tips would you have for younger girls that want to go into STEM? They're maybe quite young, they realize that they're
Mm.
really passionate about it. What tips would you give them?
I think persistence. You are going to get challenges, and you're going to get barriers, and you're going to get people saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing that," or "Are you sure about that?" And and I think just persistence and keep pushing forwards, and even after failures, and I've had many, you get yourself back up again, and you keep going forwards, and you sometimes have to ignore those voices in your own head as well. I think women especially suffer from imposter syndrome and lower confidence, and sometimes we don't go for the job unless we think we can do absolutely everything on that job description. Whereas men, if they can do about 50% of it or 60% of it, they're happy with that and they go for it. And so I think we kind of get in our own way a little bit. So I think it's just to go for it and not worry too much about the failure and the outcomes, because I think if you stay persistent in your quest, then you will get there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. I read that all the time and I hear it all the
Oh,
time that
it's true, and I suffer from it as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. We only ever go for it if we think we're perfect. We tick all
yeah,
the boxes. Yeah,
yeah.
great tip. Thank you. Dipalee, what are your plans, your goals, your dreams for your future, your family's future, your business future?
Well, for the business, I've been doing it for 14 years, and I want to get it to a stage where it can work really efficiently without me, so that I can go off and do more of these passion projects and go out and talk in more schools, and just really inspire more girls into the industry. So that's partly the plan for the company, to carry on with the growth goals that we've got planned. Got them all set up for the next 3 to 5 years. So it's really just to follow through on those. And personally, yeah, I want to do more work with schools, um, more seasons with the podcast, and see where that takes us. More industry talks. I think just getting out there and being that visible role model. I think visibility is key, and just reaching people who don't know that we're a whole community of women in STEM, and not a lot of people know about us yet, I don't think. So I think there's a lot of awareness work to do around that, and yeah, I think just pursuing more of the projects that I've been doing. But one personal one I would quite like to do is go and do some work for the UN as well. So be a UN delegate, and just working towards gender equality as well.
Amazing. Dipalee, it's so inspiring. Thank you for this really inspiring talk.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. Thank you, Stephanie.